What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another War Thunder video. Today we're taking a look at the German Bf-109 G-10. This is a Tier 4 German aircraft with a battle rating of 5.3 in realistic battles. And I'm flying the G-10 because of a request from Irvin, who was looking for some Tier 4 action. His request came in with the Bf-109 E4 video that I recently put up. The E4, of course, was just recently added to the 1.53 patch, while the G10 has been in the game for quite some time. And this thing is fully spaded, just for everyone's information. We are several minutes into this match, and I haven't seen a whole lot of action. I think we're about 7 or 8 minutes into the action right now, and for the most part, I stayed out of the action, avoiding any kind of obvious head-on attempts. I'm just hoping to find a good opportunity to take someone out. But unfortunately, that does not happen up here. Even though the G10 does very well up at altitude, you're not always going to get enemies to stay up at altitude. What tends to happen on Norway, which is the map we are on today, is everyone tends to float down a little bit, down towards the ocean. I don't know, about 7 minutes into the match, everyone tends to just give up their altitude and let a crazy furball happen, arcade style, over the A runway. And that's true of this match as well. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to give up our altitude, and we're just going to try to find out where everyone is. I was pursuing that Spitfire, not too intently, but if a good opportunity had presented itself, I would have making a run on him. Unfortunately, he disappeared. And as we take a look at the scoreboard, teams are getting pretty even now. A lot of guys have died. A lot of guys have died from crashing. I suspect G-luck is an issue for a lot of these pilots, and I'm actually going to suffer some G-luck here in just a minute. I don't have this 109 fully upgraded as far as its crew. Performance-wise, the plane itself is fine. It's just the crew I don't have spaded, and you can see I lost control. But I didn't lose control while diving. That's probably the most important part. A lot of people, they tend to lose control while they're diving and end up crashing into the ground, whether it's a tree or just the ground itself. It tends to happen quite often with this 1.53 patch. And so now, as we take a look around, we've got everyone at low altitude for the most part. Got 3 enemies down here, a couple more off in the distance. And I want to try to help this 109, the one that's in green. We're not actually squatted up together, we're just auto-squatted. So we don't know each other, but I like to save teammates whenever I can. I've gone over this a little bit in past videos. You never know when a teammate is going to be there to save your ass, so I like to save my teammates as much as I can. Now, I'm trying out the armored targets for the 20 mils. And so far I'm not having much luck here, but it's mostly because of my aim. I was always just a little bit off, and this is where the excitement on this video gets. Got a P-38 here, got a Spitfire off to my right. P-38 comes in with a head-on. I dip my nose to pick up speed, go to the left to avoid his shots, pick my nose up to get altitude, turn around, got a P-51 coming in for a head-on. I dip my nose to gain speed and also avoid his shots, roll over him, he misses, I pick up my nose with all the energy that I've got built up, take out the P-38 with a nice little spike from underneath, continue on, check my 6th. I always want to know where that P-51 is. The premium Spitfire, however, has someone on him. I'm not that worried about him. The P-51, however, is in between teammates, and I don't want to let him kill one of our guys. Simple as that. So I dip my nose just a little bit to pick up some speed, pull up to engage the P-51 who is rolling over me. I'm just a hair off on the trigger. Put the flaps into takeoff flaps, roll back over, try to get on his 6, open fire, and he ends up being taken out by that gorgeous fireball. Beautiful stuff. Once again, save the 109, who we will run into later. We'll discuss that in a minute, though. Again, I dip my nose to get speed. I'm just wondering where the Spitfire is going, where he's going to turn. I just missed the turn. I turn to pursue him, and he decides to do something which I had never seen before. he decides to pull up in an Immelman, and mid-Immelman, he inverts himself over me. I've never seen anyone try that, and this is probably for good reason. It didn't work out for him. I have never seen someone invert themselves in an Immelman like that over top of me. It just blew my mind. And within just a couple of minutes, we got 4 kills, and I was feeling pumped. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was feeling pumped. I'm looking around for that last guy. I'm thinking, is he a bomber? He's got 0 points, but we're like 12 minutes into the match. How does a bomber have 0 points on this map? There are some easy targets to bomb. You got those great big bases to hit. Why not bomb those? And I just noticed that AAA just took out one of our teammates, so now it's just myself and this fellow in the green. The K4 is a very good aircraft. It suffers from overheating right now with the 1.53 patch, but as long as you manage your engine temperature, you should be okay. Now, as you'll see here in chat, I ask him if he wants to RTB, return to base, and I get nothing. No word from him. Now, at the time, I wasn't really sure what to make of it. You know, maybe he was looking at the score screen or something and didn't see it, or maybe it was something even more simple. You know, maybe he just didn't understand English. You know, War Thunder is a multiplayer online game, and there are language barriers. You know, this game has a very large Russian player base, and not every Russian, of course, speaks English. Just as not every English-speaking person speaks Russian. So just to get an idea as to what this guy's flying, I decided to take a look at his service record, and it's pretty clear, according to his service record, that he prefers to use bombers, American bombers, B-25s, B-17s, that kind of thing. So I'm thinking, well, I'm a little low on fuel. I only took the minimum amount, which I believe is 20 minutes in the G-10. So I might as well just RTB. This guy off my left, he seems to be interested in returning to base, even though he hasn't said anything in chat. And the trip back to the base was pretty uneventful. Nothing happened in between myself and my teammate here, and nothing happened on the enemy team. The enemy, whoever he was just climbing, apparently. And so I'm going to fast forward until something interesting happens. Here we are roughly 20 minutes or so in the match, and here our friend decides to talk. Not only does he know English, but he actually knows me. What are the odds of that? And he was even generous enough to offer to use one of his blind hunts in order to help find this last player. I, however, have, I believe, 8 of them at the time of this match, and so I instead offered to use mine. It was very generous of him to offer, but I got I'm pretty sure I have 8 of these. Yeah, they just keep popping up in my list, and they just don't expire sometimes. And there we go, a B-17 shot. What a surprise! Up in space, basically. And again, keeping in mind, we are, I want to say 20 minutes into the match, maybe a hair longer, and he's still at 20 minutes or so has 0 points. How do you, as a bomber, score 0 points in 20 minutes? You're not dropping your bombs on anything. He's contributed nothing whatsoever to his team, and this is without a doubt the most frustrating thing about this. Is this guy is just, I guess he's hoping that we will just leave the match and he'll get a victory. How is this entertaining? You know, I play War Thunder because it's fun. How do you climb into space and spend 20 minutes plus? You don't drop your bombs on anything. How is that fun? Honestly, can anyone explain this to me? Because I just do not get it. I don't understand it. And I wish I could say that we quickly caught up to him, but anyone who knows anything about B-17s knows that that's just not going to happen. B-17s have 4 engines, and they perform exceptionally well at high altitude. We, on the other hand, are in single-engine fighters, and while we're fairly good at high altitude, there is, of course, a limit to just how well these things can perform at high altitude. So it would take quite a while for us to actually catch this guy. And this is another frustrating part, because I don't fly B-17s very much anymore. But when I did, I flew it aggressively. I would fly right in front of a fighter and try to backgun him. I would, you guys remember that floats event that Gaijin puts up every once in a while, and that's basically the way you win the floats event. You put your PBY or your A6K4 right in front of another aircraft, and you fire your backguns at it. Well, that's kind of how I fly the B-17, or I used to fly the B-17. And that's how I see sometimes people fly something like the IL-28, the Russian bomber with the ridiculous gunner in the back that can shoot basically at any angle, but that's a discussion for another video. But flying a bomber aggressively, that to me is fun. This guy is not. He's what I would have to call a passive bomber. Well, a do-nothing bomber, really, because, again, he hasn't scored a single point. And he won't score any points in this game until about the 30-minute mark, when he actually puts some shots into me. And speaking of that, we fast forward to roughly the 30-minute mark. We're getting close to that. And I have taken some damage. This is not because he's suddenly become an aggressive bomber. No, I think the AI is doing all the shooting. I think he's basically just sitting there watching, just looking at us. And this is where I just lose it. I fly up, and I decide this is my last run. I'm gonna shoot everything I got until the guns jam, and head back to base. Come on, elevator. Come on, elevator. There we go. And I pour all my shots. I'm trying to get that right wing. And as he disappears into the distance, I'm basically just trying to lob shots into him. And there we finally get a little fire on the right side of his aircraft. And just like that, I believe the fire went out. Something did fall off his plane. And I tell my 109 K4 friend here that I'm going to return to base. And that's it. I was pissed. Because this guy did nothing. Nothing whatsoever. All this guy did was climb in this match. He didn't use his bomber as a bomber. He didn't even use his bomber as a gunship, really. He just climbed into oblivion, really. And this is fun for him. And yeah, I know this is not the only guy who does this, but most of the bombers that I encounter actually fight back. They'll use the guns themselves. They won't just let the AI manage. And so this is why I decided to just report this guy, because to me, this is what the reporting tool is useful for. Reporting guys who have no interest in combat. And to me, this particular pilot had no interest in fighting. He was just interested in getting an easy win, really. He was hoping that maybe the AI gunners would shoot us down and he would get a victory from doing nothing, I guess. And just that soon, he goes down. I don't know if the damage that I did was enough to cause him to go down, or if the report was the reason he got kicked out. I don't know. All I know is I did get credit for the kill, and we wound up winning the match. And I have to say that this is a pretty shitty way to end a match. Especially after all that fun that I had dogfighting and energy fighting down at low altitude. It was like 100 meters off the ground down there at the A runway. I mean, I had a ton of fun in this match. This was a lot of fun. But that bomber, he just ruined it all. And I still ended up with an ace in a day, which is no easy feat in a tier 4 fighter. But I feel like the whole bomber experience has kind of ruined this match in a way. It spoiled it. And yet my hope is that you guys actually still enjoy this video. We had some amazing action at low altitude. That was some exciting and actually well played dogfighting, if I don't say so myself, at low altitude over the A runway. Let me know what you thought of this video, guys. Let me know what you thought about the energy fighting, as well as the whole issue with the bomber. How do we deal with the bombers? How do we get rid of those people? I don't even know. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up button. And of course, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Take care, guys.